Hello everyone. Today we learn about taxonomy and its relationship. I am Dr. Anil Shirsagar, Head Department of Botany, Shivaji Arts, Commerce and Science College, Kannad District, Aurangabad. If you not subscribed my channel, please subscribe Botanical Education. Now let us see about the next slide. So the contents of this tutorial. The first one is the modern trends in relation to the taxonomy. Second is morphology in relation to the taxonomy, anatomy in relation to the taxonomy, embryology in relation to taxonomy, palynology in relation to taxonomy, cytology in relation to the taxonomy, and ecology in relation to the taxonomy. So there is various different kinds of the role of the different branches in the taxonomy. Now let us focus first modern trends in relation to the taxonomy. As we know that the modern taxonomists considered that the gross morphological characters are not always the sufficient to provide the means of the differentiation in determining the genetically and evolutionary relationship between the taxa. To achieve these taxonomical evidences from anatomy, embryology, palynology, cytology, paleobotany, ecology, biochemistry, etc. are to be discussed. Dr. V. Puri said that one of the most significant modern trends in the plant taxonomy is towards the synthesis between the older methods, outlook, and more recent developments in our knowledge of the plants. According to Bailey in 1949, he said that if truly natural classification is to be attained, it must be based upon the analysis and harmonization of the evidences from the organs, tissues, and the parts. Now, let us see about the second morphology in relation to the taxonomy, how the morphological features are important. So morphology is the study of structure and forms of the plants, usually dealing with the organism and its component. So morphology has been the most widely utilized tool in the classification of the higher plants. From very long time, the morphological features have been used externally, extensively for the studied by the different botanists and taxonomists in various classification system of the plants. So morphological characters are traditionally useful as evidences at the taxonomical levels, but particularly at the specific and generic ranks. Morphological evidences provides the basic language for the plant characteristics, characterizations, then identification, classification, and relationships. Generally, morphological data are easily observable and often the most of the frequent used in the taxonomic studies. Then morphological characters are also the having the plant's habits, root, structural types, stem, habits, and then stem structural types of leaf, inflorescence, flower types, perianth, then androecium, stamens, gynoecium, carpel, ovule, fruits, and the seeds, etc. For example, morphological characters in taxonomy, growth habit, that is herbs, shrubs, and the trees. The roots are maybe adventitious or maybe taproot, and then stem is maybe bulb, or there are certain different types modifications. Then leaf, then inflorescence, then corolla having the different types. So these are the characters which is utilized for the morphological features. Then anatomy in relation to the taxonomy. It is the one of the particular aspect, that is anatomical features are widely utilized. So it is believed that the internal structure of the plants can be provide more information than the external morphology. However, the anatomical features cannot by themselves to constitute the basis of the classification, but can be used with the advantage of the supplement and those morphological attributes on which the classification has been built up. The anatomical studies of the organs of flowering plants can serve as an integral part of the taxonomy. Swamy and Bailey in 1949 remarked that before attempting to arrange the surviving angiosperms in phylogenetic series, it is essential to obtain the reliable evidence regarding saline trends of the evolutionary specialization in the various organs and internal structures of the plants. Such evidences can be acquired only by comprehensive and consuming investigation of the dicotyledonous plants as well as the monocotyledonous plants. Then the vegetative anatomy is one of the another important aspect, that is the stomata. Stomatal study is very useful in the field of taxonomy. Stomata have been classified according to their position of the subsidiary cells, guard cells in relation to the apertures. They are of the following types, that is ranunculaceous or the anomocytic stomata, that is irregular shape structure of the cell, cruciferous or the anisocytic stomata where the unequal size of the subsidiary cells, rubeaceous or the parasitic stomata where the subsidiary cells or the guard cells are parallelly arranged, caryophyllaceous or the diacytic stomata, that is a cross type of the arrangement, and the gramineous type of the arrangement of the stomata. Sometimes the crystals are one of the important aspect for this anatomy, that is anatomical studies of the plants. That is, crystals of the calcium oxalates are found in many of the families like the Apocynaceae, Begoniaceae, Cactaceae, Caricaceae, and Euphorbiaceae. In these families, the spirophytes are common, raphides are very common. In the monocotyledonous, like Araceae and the Musaceae family. So this is about the crystals. Then latex tissues are also, lenticephorous tissue is also found in many members of families like the Butomaceae, Araceae, Musaceae, Urticaceae, Podostemeniaceae, Nymphaceae, Papaveraceae, Fumariaceae. So there are so many such families, that is Asclepiadaceae, Convolvulaceae, and the Campanulaceae, etc. Cystoliths are also very important the aspect in the anatomy, that is crystals of calcium carbonate are found to be found in the many of families like Acanthaceae, Boraginaceae, and Urticaceae. Then secondary secretory cells are also important, then that possession of the lysogenous and schizogenous cavities with the oils, resins, or the mucilaginous mucilage provide taxonomic characters in the families like Rutaceae, Myrtaceae, and the Apiaceae. So this is about the different aspects which is utilized in relation to the anatomical features. That is then fourth aspect is, that is embryology in relation to the taxonomy. According to the P. Maheshwari in 1964 and Bhojwani and Bhatnagar in 1978, the characters of the taxonomic value in delimiting plant groups include the different characters like anther, then development of organization of the pollen grains, microspore mother cell, development and structure of the ovule, origin and extension of the sporogenous tissue, megasporogenesis, then mature embryo sac, fertilization, endosperm, embryo and the seed coats. These are the different aspects which is utilized in the embryology. Then palynology in relation to the taxonomy. So palynology is one of the term which is utilized for the study of pollen grains. The pollens and the spores and its application. It is derived from the Greek word palenine, that is meaning to scatter. The significance of pollen, which attributes the taxonomy, has been realized during the last 3 decades. So the outer wall of the pollen grains is very unique structure. They may call it as the exine, and the inner wall is called as the intine. So according to the Bailey and the Nast in 1943, there are the families of the dicotyledons in which the pollen is of the very considerable taxonomic significance, not only in the differentiation of the subfamilies and tribes, but also in the genera and the species. Few of the examples are illustrated. The statements. The Caryophyllus is recognized by the centrospermous type of the pollen grains with a spinulose and punctate type of the perforate tapetum, tectum. The family Malvaceae and the Compositae, or that is for Compositae contain typically spinulous type of the exine. So these are the certain examples that having the structures. Then NPC system, that is number, position, and the characters. The pollen classification is mostly based on this NPC system, that is number, position, and the character, their analysis, and that's why it is called as the NPC system. As a rule, the number of the apertures is only one in the cryptogams and the gymnosperm. Whenever the grains are the apertures by the position, their distals or the proximal end, then that according to that they are classified, that is they may be a monocolpate or the tricolpate, etc. Then apertural condition is also important for this in NPC formula. So next aspect is, that is cytology in relation to the taxonomy. The cytological data in elucidation of the taxonomic problem, it is seen that the various attributes of the chromosomes, their number, morphological features, size, behavioral changes, aberrations, reproductions are also very important. Chromosome number is one of the important aspect in the uh, relation to the taxonomy, where the haploid number of the chromosome in the angiosperms ranges from n is equal to 12 in Halopappus gracilus, that is belongs to Asteraceae, to around haploid number is 132 in Poa litora, that is belongs to family Poaceae. Most of the angiosperms have their chromosome numbers ranging from between haploid number is 7 to haploid number 12. About 35 to 40% of the flowering plants are polyploids, and it is only usually seen that closely related plants like the different species of the genus shows the chromosome numbers and in the arithmetic relations. So these are the certain chromosomal structures. Chromosomal morphology is also one of the important structure, that is the genera like the Crepis and the Plantago having large size and small number of their chromosomes have been the great value for this particular study. Now last aspect, that is the ecology in relation to the taxonomy. The ecological criteria are of the comparatively little direct importance in taxonomy through the ecological criteria, that is ecospecies, ecotypes. So these are the certain. So thank you for watching and hearing me patiently. Thanks one and all.